Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Dan.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. Today we're going to do a preview of Solar Titans. And this is from Sunny Side Up Games. It plays 1 to 4 players, 30 to 60 minutes, says 14 and up, I guess. The age thing is always kind of whatever. But anyways.
Oh, sure. I don't even read
Time
that.
frame was pretty accurate.
Time frame was pretty accurate. Probably also depends on player count, whether or not it's a learning game.
Yes.
So in this game, you are building a ship. It's a deck building game. There's a market that you can buy things from, and you're going to start off with a ship design, right? It's going to be laid out. You're going to randomly draw a ship design. You're going to draw 2, pick one, and you're going to lay out your ship cards. Everybody's got the same starting ship cards, and you're going to lay them out in the format or the order,
the pattern
that it tells you. And then as you're buying cards, you're going to be able to build and add on to that ship, or even subtract, right, as things get destroyed. And yeah, so in the lineup, you're going to have different weapons and armor, and maybe even like different kind of hubs or modules you can add to your ship that are going to give you maybe the extra currency.
Right.
You know, maybe you scrap it for currency.
different types of attacks.
Yeah, different kinds of weapons, and there's whether they attack from the side or whether you hit directly. They all have different ways that they can do things. And then also you're going to need to hire crew, right, to arm those weapons and fire them. So it's an interesting thing, right? So you don't just get to fire the laser. You have to arm that laser to then fire it. Another fun aspect of this is that you have these repair cards. Everybody starts with 5. And as you want to repair a thing on your ship, you flip over that repair card. Then
that's all you get.
You can flip that card over. Now you're good to go again, right? But maybe you don't want to repair that. You could just scrap those things off of your ship, as long as you don't leave anything hanging. And you also can't scrap like essential bits of your ship. So they've got like a black banner with the card name in there, right? So your command deck, your crew quarters, and your targeting system, I believe. Targeting bay cannot be scrapped. Other than that, everything else is kind of free.
Fodder,
is fodder, right? You're starting all your light plate that everybody starts with, and then your alpha laser. And then so your plate has a damage value, right, or a defense value that it can take. Everybody starts with the light plate, which is just one hit from one damage laser will take it out. And again, right, a basic laser has 1 armor and it does 1 damage. Again, it has an arrow indicating where on the ship it hits. Sometimes it can hit on the flank. Sometimes it's directly. It can also be
side by side, rows and columns.
Right. Oh yeah, next to each other. And then there was the trample one, right? The one that's got like the penetration,
punches through,
where it goes through, punches through, and can deal extra damage. So if the damage overflows, then it'll go into the next thing in a straight line.
Burrows through.
I really wish I had some of those.
That'd have been helpful.
Man,
awesome.
Yeah, we didn't see it until way late in the game, or was it even after that? You just found it in the deck.
Afterwards,
There were only like 2 or 3 of them.
I mean,
they're super powerful. Well, like the size laser that Bob had.
That was awesome.
So it fires 2 hits 2 rows.
2 columns.
Or 2 columns, but then it does it twice.
Yeah, 2 rows and 2 columns.
It really made the game go like 15 minutes longer because you did that. Because I was going to get you.
Yeah, he was about to get me, and he had like laser. I was like, well, let's get rid of 4 of those.
Yeah. Ouch. And so we play. There's a bunch of different ways you can play. You can play solo against an Automa ship or whatever. You can play 1v1. You could play if you play
1v1.
Yeah, you could play everybody versus everybody. The next time we play, the one I want to try is the Titan crew, where you're all on the same ship.
Sounds interesting.
So you have a slightly bigger ship, because normally your ship's only like a 5x5 grid. But to have us building on the same ship and like working off that,
it's interesting.
It could be really.
We did 2v2 is what we did.
Yeah, we did 2v2. I thought it was really good.
We each have our own ship.
And yeah, we each had our own ship, and
the goal was to get one of the other person's ships down, not both.
Correct.
Right. And it was, to speak to that a little bit, I thought, all we got to do is pick one guy and we're going to drill down on him, and no problem, this game's going to be over in 5 minutes. Wow. That was actually not the case. Because when you play as a team, you can buy cards and then put them in your teammates' discard pile or on the bottom of their deck if you've got that card. And so that was like really making it hard, because one person is feeding the other. We had you almost dead, and all this armor around here, like Spencer gave to him to add to that. Yeah, but at the same time, right? Like we had you almost dead.
Yeah.
And so Dan's giving you good cards, and also though, because we were focusing on you, Dan was just building
His
up
ship
this
is crazy, untouched. Yeah, he still has repairs
beautiful
left.
ship right here.
It's like when I was a kid, you get bored and you doodle in class, and so you draw I would draw like a spaceship and then draw as many cannons
Guns
and
and
lasers.
lasers on it.
So
Oh, yeah.
there was like not a square inch of surface that was not filled with a weapon of mass
The problem is
destruction.
he only had like 2 little guys who knew how to fire the
Yeah,
weapons,
that's
so he's
right.
having to
Running
buy
around
more.
all the guns.
Those
trying to
guys were
arm
really
them.
overworked. But then Bob started buying arm cards to put into
give
Dan's.
them-
I was like, here's
so-
some mercs. Crew those. I don't have any guns for them to shoot. Shoot their guns.
Yeah, but I mean, it
worked.
It made for
Well,
a very
for a little bit.
interesting.
Also, like you can save your aim cards. Your arm
Yes,
cards.
Yes.
you can
They stay
aim
down here, so you can get one big blast off.
because then we're not wasting.
Yeah.
Those cards.
You're not like, oh, I have to do 2 damage. I have to wait to get both those cards in my hand at one
Right.
time. No, you can just let it sit out there and wait until you get your other one, and then let them both. Come
And
out.
also, certain things on your ship being disabled can hinder you, right? If
Correct.
you lose your targeting bay, now you need 2 aim cards to fire a weapon, right?
Right.
If you, or an extra aim card, anyways.
Yeah.
Arm card, I should say. And then if you lose your crew quarters, you discard 2 cards at the beginning of your turn, like just boom, bye, gone. So that's really tough, and you've got to really make good decisions as far as when you repair, what you repair, how you protect and plate your stuff. Because originally, once everything's like coming in from the front, it's like, who cares? But then people start getting the boarding party,
right.
those
Yeah.
pods, right? It's like,
Coming in
crap,
from the
now they're coming
side.
in from the sides and my stuff's getting, picked off. So it makes for very interesting gameplay.
yeah.
Yeah, lots of choices. All right, I've talked a whole bunch about how this game plays. What have I missed? What
Yeah,
are you,
well, like I was saying, I thought it was super interesting that, like, being able to buy something and give it to your partner is super helpful, right? So it's like I could not keep my lasers alive for the life of me. Like, I was put a laser out, Tim would blow it up. I put something else out there, Tim would blow it up.
well,
And so,
you were putting it in front of the thing I was trying to hit.
right. Yeah, exactly. So, in that case, I was able to, one, I could keep my aim cards out in front of me so they weren't clogging my deck. I'm not drawing them when I can't use them. That was nice. Then when I was able to buy something, I could give it Dan the aim cards, or I could buy shielding to give to myself to try to make it so I could repair my stuff later on. I thought that was super interesting because not a lot of, even team games allow you to kind of not even quite share resources, but to work together like that to where you could buy something to give to your ally. I thought that was super neat.
There's a couple things here that I just really want to mention. First of all, just thoroughly impressed with this game, guys.
Yeah.
This is like so me. This is so fun. So first of all, just from a deck building perspective, okay? The way that the saving the aim for later thing works is so amazing.
Yeah, the arm cards going out, and then they're just aiming. That's why we started calling them aim cards.
Right.
They're really arm
Arm
cards,
cards.
but we kept saving them
Yeah.
so that we could aim.
Yeah.
Sorry,
we're just
please
aiming,
continue.
We're aiming.
Right, no, I'm just saying because like pretty much every deck builder out there has those like dead cards, and you get this in your hand and you're like, oh, this isn't useful this turn, and this takes this in a thematic way and says, yeah, it's not useful this turn, but you just set off to the side and you're aiming, right? And then on a future turn you can just boom, fire 4 guns that have all been waiting for that to come out. That is such a useful thing to have in a deck building game. It also ties straight into having a market in a game is always terrifying to me, because you get, it comes around to your turn and you're like, cool, there's nothing I wanted, everyone else got everything I wanted. Yeah, that's fine. Buy these things. You
they're
know,
good.
Yeah.
you have
They're
extra
good.
money, and there's this is one of the most useful, I don't know what they call them in deck builders. But yeah, the kicks.
Yes.
Call them
Yeah,
kicks,
where you
yeah.
just have those cards that the whole deck's the same and you can buy them anytime. That is one of the most useful kick stacks I've ever seen in a deck builder. 'Cause
Yes.
you get all these, and they're only one-time use, right? You have to trash them when you use them, but you just get 5 of those built up down here. You're just like, someone's gonna die.
Yeah.
when
I'm gonna fire
my turn comes
everything.
around.
Yeah.
So, I got to take out his targeting base so he can hurt me less.
Right.
Yeah, Dan's ship was like the ship at the last Starfighter, where it just like kind of starts spinning
Yeah.
around and like just lasers were going everywhere. That was Dan's ship by the end of the game. It was insane.
But
My
so
ship was just
just
spinning.
so just from a deck builder, from a deck builder perspective, that's one of the things I wanted to point out. And then we have a tableau building thing going on here, which mixed with this deck builder, where you're literally buying the cards that you're going to build your ship out of. and having this 5x5 grid that you have to fit everything into. And there's some things like, so I have the link laser here that gets more powerful if it's next to any lasers, right? Or having being able to get these things that attack from the side of the ship and
The
trying
missiles,
to build armor around these things because people are going to be targeting them, or like at one point I literally didn't get it out till the last turn of the game, but at one point I bought this thing that can wreck shop, not because I wanted to wreck shop, but because I knew the second I got it out I was going to start drawing fire from Bob. They need to shoot this thing or I win with it. So like by taking shots I protect my teammate.
It makes for good strategy.
Then on one last thing too, just another huge thing that I was very impressed with was already mentioned. But in a game like this, being able to buy cards and put them in your allies' discard pile, that is so cool. I mean, being able to, because again, so it makes this market less important if it's not good on your turn, because it's not about what's good on my turn. It's what does my teammate need too. Okay, this is useless to me right now, but I'll buy this. Here, Bob, you take it instead. That's huge in a game, in a co-op game with a market. So there's just a lot of things here that are really impressively put together. In my opinion, I came into this game not knowing anything. It also does remind me of, I've told the story a couple times when I was at a proto spiel and a guy was just like testing out a game he was making, and it has some similar feelings here, which might be why I really enjoyed this, because I really liked his game, and has some similar, like, genuinely, if I found out that guy worked on his game and it turned into this, I'd believe it, because there's some stuff like that are similar. But yeah, anyway, just really impressed with the feeling of this game.
I also like how you have cards that don't go on your ship. They're like crew members. And this was the only one that I got a hold of, but it was super useful. Let me draw 2 cards and discard 1. So I was able to cycle through and get the aims and things, or arms and things that I needed. So yeah, just remember there are the other ones. And also when you repair a card, using one of your repairs, and you only have 5, you can't use it that turn. So you have to be prepared in advance.
Right. Well,
To be repaired.
to be
repaired.
repaired.
No, that was the other game.
No, there's a lot. The iconography is really good. The way that the shield icons, the attack icons all work really well. The movement or can't be moved, like all of that is great. The only thing that we noticed that we didn't love, because it foretells what's coming, is there's some cards that cannot be repaired. So the only issue is that it says that as well on the back.
Right.
So when it comes up in the market and it's the top card on the market deck, we know that is a card that can't be repaired.
Right. And most of which are armor.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
So design choice, whatever. It didn't ruin the game for me.
Right.
It's just something we noticed was kind of weird.
Yeah, a little meta information.
It's also literally necessary. It's there because when you flip your card over, you cannot heal that card. It makes perfect sense. Like, and also this market row, it's 6 cards, right? 4 of them are armor every turn anyway. Oh no, another armor card's coming up next. We know that. I just don't think it matters.
Well, then you know for sure it's not a gun.
Sure.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, like, if it can't be repaired, then it could just fall off. But I guess you might want to keep it on there to use for scrap, because some things.
It also affects the 5x5 still.
Yep.
It does still
moving
affect
things
the
around the
5x5.
5x5 grid is interesting.
Yeah, and I like those restrictions because I think
Same.
that makes that forces you to be creative and make good decisions. Yeah, I think that was the only design thing that you had commented on that was a little weird, and I agree it's a little weird, but at the same time.
It's like I understand it, but it's like you wonder if there is maybe a different fix for it of some sort.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have a cube or something, so when you flip it over, you put the cube on it, so then you know that you can't repair that one.
Sure.
And also, when you have these initial setups, they're definitely important. They make a difference in the game, because I had a setup where all my things were in a row right here. You couldn't get to me this way. I was super vulnerable from the sides. And you had a setup
was
where,
too.
yeah, so it just... This is totally changes how the game is played.
Yeah, I was literally just a straight line at the beginning here. One thing that I don't love, and it's not really a fault, I'm interested in seeing if the wording changes, stuff like this, because I don't know what it's actually called, if I'm being totally honest. The armor isn't armor. Right? It doesn't work like armor in any other game would. So if this thing has 2 armor,
Plating.
Right. My brain would say that I have to destroy it with one attack. That's because it makes the more powerful things more
one weapon.
useful. Yeah, that's what I mean. So it is weird to me that if something has 3 green shield thing, I can just pepper it with 3 one-shots. That's weird to me in a game like this because it makes the bigger weapons much less important. Do I destroy his gun that does 3 damage or his 3 guns that do 1 damage each? It's the exact same.
No,
Well,
it's not the
3
same
guns take
because
3 aim cards. To do
yeah,
it, whereas
sure.
one takes
yeah,
one.
you need 3 arm cards versus 1 arm card.
Nope, totally
So-
makes sense.
And
Argument stands.
I also look at it as it was like a almost like not shielding like you're holding up a shield, but almost like a
Hull
think a
generator.
shield generator,
Oh,
right?
there you go.
And so you have like you have 3 units of like defense, so 3 little shots will get through all that and take that down. So
Right.
it's vulnerable.
I don't live in the mindset of this is how I describe it. I want the game to describe it that
Sure.
way because you are teaching a game and
Sure.
it needs to describe it this way. I don't want every person at the table to have their own weird
Opinion
mental
on it as to
reason
why
of
it's working
why
that
it's
way.
that way.
I guess I did not have a problem with it at all. It makes perfect
Sure.
sense to me, but I understand what you're saying.
I didn't shoot multiple times because I didn't think I could kill the thing because I was doing 1 damage
sure.
each, right? And I'm just saying that is just when you compare that to how shielding works in other games that I've played, that's just what makes sense to me.
All right.
So the game calls it defense level.
Sure.
So it's different
Right.
than armor.
Yeah, maybe so not much defense level
It's
can be
an
taken
armor-
down.
the
And the other
symbol's
guys
an
going to
armor.
repair it in between turns.
100%. I'm saying to me it's important how you teach something. Like the way the rule
So
book
that
does
is
it, the way
a
designers do
okay.
it.
I was gonna say then that's a flaw on me because I
Oh.
called it armor.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. And oh no, you incepted a word into my brain and
Yeah.
hit me
Yeah.
with it. Whatever.
mean,
It's
come
fine.
on.
Sure,
It's a
but
shield.
if it was like normal plating, then you like, in between turns you have time to fix it to
Right.
get it back up to the 3 that it could normally
Right.
be.
Yeah, it's such a nitpick. That's just that is just a wording thing in games that I care a lot about. But I stand by my previous statement. I'm thoroughly impressed with this game. I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, this will be a cool little. And then at the end of the game, I was just like, I literally said, wow.
Yeah.
You know, like I just so fun.
Oh yeah, and tight, very close.
Yes. It was very
Intense.
close. It was
Yeah,
very
there was
intense.
definitely
Very
one of
intense.
like,
Like we're gonna get him, and then he pops something else.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
able to save himself.
Yeah.
or like
Over
we
and over
know
and over
Bob's gonna
again.
die, so I just so happened to take out Spencer's gun that could kill Bob, and then Spencer has to repair his gun, which gives Bob time to build armor.
So Tim, take me down again a little bit
I was
more.
Crazy.
sweating, man.
Yeah,
You were sweating.
in my cruise ship.
Like, oh, is it warm in here?
Well, I was sweating because I was carrying my team.
Oh
Okay.
dang. Oh dang.
I opened
gonna
up some
talk about
windows,
the
let some air in.
That's why you lost.
That's why I lost.
No, yeah, I really did feel the intensity though in this like there was literally a time where I was like sitting here looking at my stuff and I said, Bob, we gotta talk. Like, what action,
we
what
do?
order do I need to do? What actions to set up your turn? I don't care if they hear right now. I need to know what saves you, buddy.
So that's when you realized that you needed to target me to keep me,
Right.
not him.
Now, apart from all the craps, the cards that I scrapped, I combined
Yeah, card crap.
card
Card
and scrap and made it crap.
Times all the times you crap.
3, 6. I have 9 here, and what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are already destroyed. And you have Dan's nice, beautiful, undamaged ship, and he still has a repair card left.
One left.
The only person
Shows you
who
how
calls
much
it
they were
fair.
targeting me
Yeah.
and not going after Dan.
Facts.
Yeah.
No, but so here's the other thing, and I was thinking about this because like as I'm going through and drawing cards, right, and playing cards, and I was getting through my deck so fast. I'm like, how am I getting through my deck so fast in my brain? Because I love deck builders. So, obviously the more you buy cards, right, the bigger your deck gets.
Right.
But then I'm like, oh no, it's all on the table
here.
in front of me.
Yeah,
I'm building,
right.
my,
Exactly.
I'm building
Yeah.
my engine and it's staying out. And so it was
Yeah.
really cool
Just have
because
low builder and a deck builder all at
yeah,
once.
and I know, like Dan said that earlier, but that's kind of how it occurred to me.
Right.
It's because it's like, why am I shuffling and drawing again? I just did this like 2 turns ago,
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh no, wait a minute.
yeah.
It's because
I'm leaving all the cards on
they're
the table.
all out here.
And
Yeah.
that's why she was so useful because it's only 2 cards, but I only have like
Yeah,
11.
it was really nice because even when I was down and I needed to get my arm cards out because my targeting bay was destroyed, and it's like, man, it's gonna take forever, and it's like, man, no, not really,
Oh, shit.
not
right.
really, because it's just like boom, boom, boom. Okay, now
Right, no, I meant the odds of you getting both in your hand at one time. I
Oh,
was
we're
like,
really good because I had them.
we were like, I was like, I think we can ignore him more than him. In all fairness, you only shot once after that point.
That is true because actions were taken. The sight
You
laser
have
was
the bigger
fired.
gun.
But no, this was awesome. Let's. There's not much to say about components because this is a prototype, so I don't want to talk too much about this because I don't
Prototype
know.
and it's card based.
I don't know what's
Yeah.
final, but
it could be a different card stock quality.
Is
card
the
stock
shape
could be
right?
different.
Shape's right.
Yeah, I'm okay with that size of the rule book.
It came with some rules reference, player aids.
aids.
It also has a really nice breakdown of everything on the back of the book.
I like
Which
that
was
this is
handy.
called the command manual.
Yeah,
I
I
had
knew
to-
you would.
fan of
I
that.
knew you would.
Halfway through the game, I realized it says I can take my actions in any order. I'm like,
Yep.
oh crap, that would have changed a lot of things I did.
Yeah. Definitely a learning experience,
Yeah,
but a learning
learning.
experience that I thoroughly
Very
enjoyed.
nice.
Yeah. I mean, teach and everything was really easy on this, like learning. Now we've all played deck building games, right? So
Right.
it's just
and
learning
tableau building and everything.
learning
so.
the nuances of this one. But this felt so unique. Like I was getting some of that wildness of Galaxy Trucker. Like when I'm getting
Yeah.
stuff,
It was in the
when I'm getting stuff
the
destroyed,
Hyperion.
and it's like
Falling off the side
yeah,
of your
I was
ship,
like,
yeah.
well, this doesn't actually fall off, so I can relax. But I do need to, build up or scrap stuff around it. But this just provided so many unique things. So let's just go into our final thoughts,
Right.
and then we'll say if we recommend this game or not. Hey guys, it's Tim from the Board Game Rundown, and I'm just popping on to tell you right now we've got a Patreon that we just started. The pledge level is very low, but there's a limited amount, so when that amount's gone, it's going to go up. Right now, we're not giving away anything extra, but we probably will as soon as we figure out how we're doing that. So if you've got the time, the willingness, and the means to do so, and you want to support the show, please go over to that Patreon and check it out. Thanks very much. So Bob, what do you got for final thoughts?
What do you think of Galaxy Trucker?
What do you think
Yes,
of
this
Solar
is-
Titans?
With
It's a
guns.
joke because his ship kept falling apart.
Really fun part.
No, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to when we initially pulled it out and started talking about it. I like the tableau and to be able to move things around and manipulate that. I like that there's so many different types of ships that you can start with. Like that was said earlier about the buying cards and giving to your ally. The fact that you can play it all versus, or cooperative somewhat, or with everybody has a ship or one big Titan ship. There's a lot of different methods to play, which leads to a lot of versatility and replay value. But yeah, that's my main original thoughts. You do have that one card that lets you play that card and pay another one to
Yeah.
remove a third card. Felt a little expensive, but
Yeah.
like you were
how
saying, though,
tight
you
it
put
is.
so many cards out here. My deck was like 8 or 9 cards.
Yeah, you
by
were
the end.
going-
So
yeah.
I was really going through my cards really quick, and that was I mean, most of them were getting destroyed, but still, I was able to get.
You
through
were
them
going
quick.
through those-
I was going through parts very quickly.
Bob, I don't think you understood how to play the game. Man, I was going
easy.
I was going through books like crazy.
But yeah, that's my.
Right on. Spencer.
Oh well, I love the thematic things here. You have this is the crew quarters. When the crew quarters gets destroyed, you have to discard 2 every turn. But when you look at all of your cards, they're crew members.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of them are. We have this unique thing here. I attack with this weapon. It doesn't do any damage. It swaps 2 things, and it was strategic. And I mean, it's such a tight game that removing the 1 extra armor made a difference. Yeah. I also just a little personal touch. When you break the main thing that wins the game, it says launching escape pods.
Nice.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't flip mine over because I refused to admit reality.
You wouldn't
I
know.
reject your reality.
No, I was very impressed with this game. I literally didn't come into it knowing anything, and yeah, the art is just fine. I mean, it's not
I like it just fine. I think it's good.
It's not like
Yeah,
Michelangelo.
it's neat. And the backside's got that explosion thing.
Well,
as
and there's actually effort put into the light armor is
Oh, yeah.
a lighter shade than the medium armor, which is a lighter shade
Right.
than the heavy
That
armor.
Titan plate is the darker shade. Yeah.
like it's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I've already said my piece. I sum up. I am thoroughly impressed with Solar Titans. I like the way it combines the deck building with some new mechanics and the tableau building with some new mechanics, and it mixes them together in a game that I found thoroughly fulfilling.
Yeah, this game's awesome. This is a ton of fun. And again, right, there's just it's really fun to see like a game that's really good right out of the box, but then like you start thinking and you're like, ooh, they could do there's so much room for growth,
Possibilities, yeah.
and it's not even like it needs it. Right. It's not that it needs it, but I could see this game like we play it so much that then you're gonna want to start to get the
Want to see
new
more.
stuff.
No, I
so you
could
can see more.
literally see a boarding thing where you have like a piece that you put on an enemy ship and you can move it around, whatever like card it's standing on they can't use or something, right? And like,
Ooh, yeah, like Saboteur.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
something like that could be a like. There's a lot of places this could go, and these bones are solid.
Just
Ion
as long as they
cannons.
keep it as tight a game as they have. I would not want the expansion to make it
Right.
less intense.
No, yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. But yeah, this game, I mean, we had there was a lot of tension.
Oh, yeah.
A lot, but I mean, it was really fun. It was exciting. I felt like even when my ship was kind of down, I was still productive. Like I'm still either feeding Spencer some cards or I'm setting up my own like future, like, okay, well, I'm just going to grind. Hopefully I can stay alive long enough. And it felt like a real Starship battle.
You have so much. I'm like really looking at what you have left now after I destroyed. Because
just plating.
It was tons of guns. He had so many guns and he kept shooting me, shooting me. Excuse me. And then I got that gun that does the 2 things in 2 rows.
Yeah, boom, boom.
And boom, boom, boom. Took out 4 guns in 1 shot. And now he's like, okay, defense
Armor,
is up.
armor,
Put all the armor up.
Let's get armor. Yeah.
funny.
Sir, the gun thing did not work out.
All right, take those guns, melt them down, and make armor out of it.
But no, this was fantastic. What a great time. Really glad that we had the opportunity to do a preview for this because this was awesome. I can't wait to see what the Kickstarter looks like and what they offer.
Stretch goals.
But so Solar Titans is a strong recommend, I think,
Yeah.
from everybody,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Yep, check it
Totally
out.
recommend.
Yeah, right on. Well,
Don't sleep on it.
yeah. Well, we'll be talking about it when the Kickstarter's live and everything because this is one that's like, this must happen.
Which
like
one
this
of us
must
is buying it?
Yeah. This is really good. So, all right, guys. Well, this has been Solar Titans. And for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
Spencer.
Dan.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.